Hi Chris, so the social web enables more and more of us to engage online. It gives us a lot more opportunities but a lot more challenges. As marketing and PR practitioners, how should we be thinking about our profession?
Well, I think we need to reassess how we're doing things and what our strategies are around taking our product to market and doing marketing and customer service. The first thing that I think people should really challenge themselves with is the whole definition of media. So it's interesting that this space has really been defined as social media. So it's been called a media, and one of the biggest mistakes that we see companies make is they go from traditional media to this new media, and they think of it in terms of a place to put their ads and a place to go try and get impressions. And the reality is that social media is much more a two-way communication vehicle. It's almost like it's the next communications infrastructure that the company has to implement and roll out across the entire organization. We like to think of social media more as the social phone. So it's a new type of phone system, and you need to adapt to that, and you need to understand how to listen for it, how to answer it, and really think about how to start engaging over this new form of communication. I think the second thing that we're seeing, companies that are really doing this and doing it well, going out and actually building their brands out in social media, they're rethinking core fundamentals like, say, the 4 Ps, for example. So as marketeers and PR professionals, we've been taught to anchor everything on the 4 Ps for decades, price, promotion, place, and product. And the whole idea is that those 4 Ps really are becoming less relevant in terms of how we need to anchor our strategies. They're still important, but they're evolving. Like, for example, if you think about product has always meant, the widget that you're selling, whether it's, a baseball bat or a movie that you're selling that you want people to go to, or a laptop. Product has now become the complete total customer experience. From the time you try to find out information that helps you figure out what to buy, to the experience of actually purchasing that product itself, all the way through to what if I have problems, how easy or difficult it is it to get help, both from the company and also from other people that have the product and things like that. Promotion. For the longest time, your brand has been about, has really been based on how much money and what kind of budget you have to put behind driving your marketing messages out to your target market. And the reality is that today that's really turning around. I mean, consumers, because they're so connected and they have so much access to information online, they're not really standing for that. I mean, they want to interact with companies, and they want it to be more about engagement. They want to know the company. They want a human element to the company. So what we would challenge companies to think about is, instead of thinking about the 4 Ps, think about the 5 Cs. And I'll just introduce those right now. So you've got content, community, collaboration, communication, and connections. And you need to start thinking in those terms, not just for your PR strategy, not just for your customer service strategy, for your entire brand, whether it's recruiting, online advertising, online marketing, customer service, sales. You need to start implementing, a healthy content strategy, a healthy communication strategy. You need to get out and become part of the community out there in your industry and about your products and maybe your competitors' products. And the communities have been around for years, like literally decades. People have been building these communities, but there's a fundamental shift in terms of how we think about a community and how we have to think about a community. So a community has always been, in many cases, something that I go build as a company and try and get my customers into it. And I think about, that's great because now they can interact and I can moderate it, and they'll help each other and stuff like that. And that's great, but we need to start thinking about community just as kind of one example of these 5 Cs, in terms of the fact that it already exists. The community's already out there. Your customers are out there. They're talking. They're looking for information. They're saying good things about you and bad things about you. And the reality is your brand is no longer defined by that pile of cash that you can use to push your messages out. Your brand is defined by the sum and totality of all the conversations that are taking place about you online. And those conversations are going to happen whether you're in them or not. So smart companies are choosing to be in the conversations and in the communities that are out there defining their brands. So I think that's kind of like the 3-minute answer. You really need to start rethinking things like, what do we mean by media? Let's not get headed down a path where we're thinking of social media as the next place to place our ads and the next place to throw all our money at and push our messages. And let's think about adopting and evolving from the 4 Ps to the 5 Cs.
Chris, thank you very much for talking to the PR Report.